Bonjour, bienvenue à votre hebdomadaire lambiancepodcast en compagnie de
Reggie,
Peter
et moi-même, Danielle. Aujourd'hui, on a une émission spéciale en compagnie d'une invitée. L'émission se fera d'ailleurs, il faut que je pense à vous, mes chers francophones, parce que je suis moi-même une francophone aguerrie. Donc, je dois vous mentionner quand même que l'émission se fera en anglais. Parce que justement, notre invité spécial est anglophone.
ou du franglais.
Ou du franglais, effectivement. Effectivement. Mais juste avant de vous la présenter, messieurs, est-ce qu'il y a quelque chose durant la semaine qui vous a interpellé, qui vous a capté, ou du moins qui a capté votre attention?
Ah oui, j'ai trouvé une nouvelle intéressante parce que on parle toujours de Black Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
Donc, vous vous rappelez la scène dans le film où est-ce que Killmonger est dans le musée?
Ouais.
Il parle avec la madame, il dit « Vous avez volé ça en Afrique, whatever. »
Ah ouais.
C'est ça. Parce qu'en ce moment, il y a une nouvelle qui parle en Europe. Donc, le président est en ce moment pour parler avec des pays en Afrique pour retourner leur collection qu'ils ont volée en Afrique, qu'ils mettent dans des musées.
OK.
Mais ils ne vont pas le retourner tout de suite. Ils parlent de le louer.
Pour combien de temps?
Ils discutent encore des termes.
Mais tu sais, qu'est-ce qui est drôle, justement, ça me fait penser à une chose, puis je vais pas m'étaler trop là-dessus, mais durant un de mes voyages, entre autres pendant que j'étais au Burkina Faso, c'est tellement drôle, j'étais dans un musée et tout, et tu sais, j'étais vraiment, tu sais, enjouée, super contente de pouvoir y aller, et je me présente là-bas, tu sais, le guide nous reçoit et tout, on fait le tour, mais c'est juste des photocopies, ou des photos, des œuvres avec la description, puis ça dit tout était littéralement en France ou ailleurs, mais principalement en France. Puis j'étais comme, OK, mais qui sont les propriétaires des choses? Tu sais, c'était marqué propriétaire inconnu. Chose que je trouvais ça assez, littéralement assez spécial. Puis là, le fait que t'en parles, ça me fait repenser à ça. Puis effectivement, j'espère que, bon, ils vont avoir le droit de récupérer éventuellement leur truc et tout.
J'espère. Mais... Ben, ils vont les louer en premier. C'est comme le canal de Panama. Ils vont le louer pour 100 ans. Puis, après ça, mais tu sais, ça fait rire parce qu'il y avait une nouvelle et, pardonnez-moi, j'ai pas retenu ça, mais il y a comme un musée, c'est quelque part aux États-Unis, et ils ont fait le parallèle avec le film où est-ce que c'était des œuvres africaines. Mm-hmm. Les curateurs étaient un homme et une femme blanche.
Okay.
Donc là, c'était le même truc où est-ce que, bon, je sais qu'il y a un peu de préjugés dedans parce qu'ils se disent que la personne de race blanche, des fois, peut penser avoir plus sur les œuvres africaines que la personne de race noire. Mais le hic était quand même hilarant parce que si je veux parler d'œuvres africaines qui sont du terroir et c'est des œuvres mystiques, donc lorsque tu vois un monsieur se présenter avec son costard de $20, puis il est là, oh yes, I've been to, Zimbabwe and I was chasing lions and, we came across this beautiful artifact and it is here now. Fait que ça faisait un petit peu comique quand même avec tout ça. Bon, étalons-nous pas parce que nous avons une invitée.
Exactement. Et pour la présenter, je vais vous dire deux mots, j'en dire 4 à vrai dire. Okay. Black Queens et Black King. Je sais pas si ça évoque quelque chose chez vous qui nous écoutez actuellement, mais pour vous présenter, c'est une artiste graphique. Je sais que j'ai dit que l'entrevue se fera en anglais, ok, j'ai pas oublié. Mais justement, donc je la présente, c'est une artiste graphique. Ça fait un peu un parallèle avec ce qu'on avait parlé déjà il y a quelques semaines avec Nicole Kobe. Donc, on peut dire qu'on évolue par rapport à ça. Le nom de la personne, je pense que je vous ai fait assez patienter, c'est Danielle Murrell Cox. Donc, comme je l'ai dit, c'est une artiste graphique.
Did she pronounce your name properly?
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. Parenthèse, regard.
Stare,
Side-eye.
How are you doing today, Danielle?
I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for that introduction.
It's my
Happy
pleasure.
to be here. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yes, because we came across, I think Peter came across some of your art and he was really interested because when he sent me the link, it was the one for the Black Queens, and I watched a few interviews with you and I was like, this is wonderful because I'm looking at the graphic and I'm like, it seems that every time I look at it, it makes me think of somebody that I know. Mm-hmm. So without having a mouth or the eyes, I could place somebody there.
Oh, that's my cousin Joe, or that's
exactly,
my aunt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So essentially, I'm going to ask you a question that everybody's been asking you lately because you've been hot. It's like how.
I think I'm more mild now, but I'll take it.
No. Your story is burning hot, and hopefully for a long time.
Hopefully.
Because what you did was fantastic.
Thank you.
So how did you come about the idea of doing the book?
Yeah, so Black Kings and Black Queens are coloring books for anyone who isn't really sure what they are. I started with Black Queens because I'm a girl and I relate to girls more than guys for the most part, of course. So I started with coloring books based off of doing like these little characters, these little faces. And I wanted to do my first face off of myself. And then from there, I did like other faces of people that I would see on a regular basis, or people that related to me, or possibly me in other ways. So with the cornrows, with the fros, with like the extension of the braids, and then more in the natural state because I'm going through this whole natural thing. So I definitely wanted to relate to the natural state. And then also with that, I was like, well, how can I relate to other people who can kind of understand as to what I'm thinking of as well, that might not be able to see themselves in other forms. So then I had a woman who had a hijab on, because the whole idea is Black women, but just because you're a Black woman doesn't mean you don't wear a hijab. So I wanted to get into that as well. And then with that, I got like really great feedback online. So I'm all about Instagram and I'm all about Twitter. Social media for the win. I mean, it has its good and it has its bads, but it's mainly good. And then from there, I got people's feedback and people were like, oh, this is great. This is really cool. And I'm like, hey, what can I do with this? How can I continue that conversation of, hey, that looks like me. Hey, we need more representation. And then I was like, let's try a coloring book.
Yeah, because representation is important.
Definitely.
And in a way, like, it seems like, maybe it's because I live in Montreal, but it seems a little bit like it's a little bit of a mosaic of where we live. Like, if we're just walking down the street, I think we could meet like half the people.
Yeah, for sure.
Like that you see on the book. And I found it really interesting because even like, you know, when you sent me the link and I looked at it, it's funny because I saw like the excerpt of an interview I had on TV. And the first minute I was like, yeah, I'm going to watch all of it.
Oh,
I'm going to watch all of it. You know, like I'm like a millennial, even though I'm not, but like I have like a short attention
like
span.
10, 20 seconds,
and
like,
I'm
you need to hook me, right?
Exactly. And I'm like following book and I'm like, and you're talking about representation, people of color. And I'm like, that's so true because it seems that over the past couple of years, it's been something that's been on the forefront.
Yeah.
Where like people don't see themselves in certain areas, either like work or TV. And this is why like it was important to have you also on the podcast because like I don't know how to say influencer.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you are somebody, you know, hopefully that becomes super important because the work that you did there, like even I, like, you know, like I don't have kids, but you know.
I don't have kids either, but yeah.
No, because I can think of like 3 people I'm going to buy the book for. Like I just have kids that are in that phase where they're coloring and I'm like, that is nice, you know, they'll like it.
It's good for adults too.
Yeah, I can call
Maybe not for all adults, but there are some
Exactly.
adults who just like want to be able to distract themselves or get away from the social media, the internet, and like have like a stress-free environment. And some people love to doodle or color or draw, but maybe they're not doing it on a regular basis. And they do like to color. I've had a couple adults that are just like, yes, this is for me. Yes, I'm doing this.
No, definitely. And also, there's a trend right now about
True,
the coloring
yes.
book for
Very
the millennial. Like,
Yeah.
like I said, there's a trend. Ça, c'est mon francophone qui revient, OK? Je réfléchis en français, puis
Non,
je le
go
parle
for it.
en
On peut
anglais.
faire en français puis en anglais aussi.
Non, c'est correct. Sois-toi à l'aise de parler anglais. C'est juste moi. Comme je l'ai dit au début, je suis une anglophone, une francophone aguerrie. Oh mon Dieu, je me sens mal.
Non, mais t'as dit, tu peux lui poser la question en français. Puis...
Non, mais c'est pas plus une question que je l'ai posée, mais plutôt justement un commentaire que je voulais faire par rapport, tu sais, c'est justement, il y a beaucoup le retour à l'enfance, c'est présentement, tu sais, les 20 ans, 30 ans, tu sais, par rapport au... tu sais, colorier, ça nous rappelle un peu notre enfance ou quoi que ce soit. Mais moi, personnellement, puis de revoir ça, je me dis, ah, c'est le fun, tu sais, allez faire les dessins. D'ailleurs, il faut que vous regardiez ça. Ça, c'est ça. Ça, c'est le black. Je sais pas pourquoi je parle comme ça.
It's the inner child in you. It's your inner
Black
child.
Queens.
Exactement, avec le black king. C'est trop cute. Mais,
Back to the normal me now.
donc, c'est juste un petit commentaire que je voulais faire à ce niveau-là. Je pense que j'avais dit ça là.
But I wanted to ask you because I'm not really familiar with the graphic design world. Is there like a difference between like a graphic designer and like what they call illustrator?
I would say so, for sure.
Yeah?
You could definitely be both.
Okay.
So, in the basic understanding of what graphic designers are or what they do is they combine images and text.
Okay.
That's the most basic sense of what a graphic designer is. Now, of course, you can have someone who designs text to make it look nice and pretty and beautiful. You can have someone who designs the actual images that they're putting with the text. So as a graphic designer, you can do so much. You can also be a photographer. You can be an illustrator. An illustrator, I'm not an illustrator, so I can't really give the best example of it. But from my interpretation of it is someone who illustrates or draws or paints.
Okay.
And then you can take something like an illustration or a drawing from an illustrator, give it to a graphic designer, and make something nice, either a pamphlet or maybe turn it into a logo, etc. Or an illustrator can also do all of those things, because for the most part, they're using the same programs.
Okay.
When it comes to the computer programs. So an illustrator can do the same thing as a graphic designer, depending obviously on your skill level, and vice versa. And then a photographer can do the same thing as a graphic designer. So they're kind of blurred where the lines are. There isn't like a set thing that only graphic designers do this. A graphic designer can also be web designers, create websites. I mean,
so they're like cousins.
Any person can create a website these days, right?
Except me.
With the tools that they have online, anything's possible. But I think now in this day and age, like, you can be like a graphic designer, photographer, illustrator. You could be a whole bunch of things, really.
Okay, so the path is different for both of them. Meaning, like, how do you become one? Like,
well, for me, it really depends on the person. So some people, it's 2018 now. You can do courses online.
Yeah.
You can sign up to different platforms that give you courses. So it's not necessarily your school, like let's say Udemy or Skillshare, that have a whole bunch of videos and learning techniques that you can learn and then adapt that into becoming a designer without actually having to go through a school process. So there's that. For me, I actually went to Dawson.
okay.
And there was a graphic design program at Dawson. So once you graduate from that program, you actually have a certification saying that you are a graphic designer.
Okay.
So you have a diploma or a DEC, or DEC as we all know, a DEC. You have a DEC in graphic design from that program. And it's a technical program, so you don't have to go to university if you don't want to. And I didn't, because I was just like, let's just get into this work field. Let's start working. And so 3-year program, and then from there, you just kick you into the world and say, do your thing.
You just said Dawson and it brought some bad memories.
I love Dawson.
I used to play football and they used to beat us bad.
Oh, that's why you had that.
Oh, man, you just said that I jumped in my skin.
Dawson is great. I love Dawson.
They used to beat us bad. Like, the last time, I think between them and Vieux Montréal, they made me quit football.
Oh my gosh.
They made me quit football. Like, I went to play them. I think they beat us like 45-2 or something like that. And I'm like,
it's a huge gap.
yeah, losing is not fun. You know?
It's not losing, it's learning.
Good words.
Learning.
I would like to know how and why did you decide to become a graphic
designer? I'm there for you. I got
graphic designer?
Merci. I understand. It's okay.
I would like to know how and why, because like we know that you're an entrepreneur and you work on your home and you have clientele regarding your area, but how and why
did I become a graphic designer? The first thing actually wasn't supposed to be graphic design, so I wanted to go into fashion.
Okay.
I've always been the artsy type of person, so I've always done the coloring. I've always had doodles, like when you're on the phone, you're doodling. In elementary school, I would like turn people's names into pictures, so I was always like handsy, artsy, creative in that sense. And then when you got to high school and it's like, hey, now what do I do with my life? Because for some reason they think at 16, 17 you can figure some stuff out.
Yeah,
which,
true,
I'm 27, I'm still trying to figure some things out, so I don't know how they expect that at such a young age. But anyways, at that point we were just like, I'm going to apply to schools. Where am I going to apply? I originally wanted to be a fashion designer. And then I had to do a project, and that involved actually sewing by hand. So I had to create a pillow, and we had to do like a painting or silk screening on it. And we had to do it by hand, not using any machines. And so I was sewing it, and then I realized I'm terrible at sewing. And that's not something I probably want to do for the rest of my life. So I was like, hey, back to the drawing board. What the crap am I going to do now? And luckily, shout out to my mom, who's always been super supportive. She was the one who introduced me to graphic design. She's like, well, you're obviously going to be going to college regardless. So let's figure out what we can do with your art and how could that turn into a career. So it was all because of mommy.
Shout out to all the moms.
Shout out to moms, right?
To the supportive one there.
Yeah, supportive ones. Yeah. True. So because of that, I applied, and I didn't get in the first time. So I didn't get into the program the first time because the way they have it is you have to apply with a portfolio and do like a drawing test. Like, I don't know if they still do that, but it's pretty intense. Okay. And during the time that the portfolios were supposed to be sent in, I was actually on like my school Europe trip. So my mom, being the person she is and just like the extra person she is, she literally took every single piece of drawing I've ever done in my entire life.
Oh, wow.
And gave that in. And I was like, thanks, but crap. So we're talking like the same doodles that you do next to the telephone when you're on the phone, like those like crappy, not so great, but like I'm bored, I'm going to put something on paper type of things.
Oh my God.
And she gave that in, as well as good things. And I came back and I was like, holy shit. shit.
I'm not getting in.
So I didn't get in the first time, but because moms are moms, she's like, well, you're still doing something. And so I did an arts and culture program at Dawson.
Okay.
So I was still doing it like an arts type of program. So we did drawings and stuff like that. Then I applied again, and then I got in.
With the good drawings now.
Yeah. This time I was able to select which ones. And then also, let's be honest, like another year, I was able to get better at my craft and do better things. So that obviously had something to do with it as well. And then, let's be honest, just probably just wasn't meant to be at that point, right? And it turned out great in the end anyways. So originally wanted to be a fashion designer, then I got into graphics, and it was mainly the idea of getting into graphics, obviously because my mom mentioned it, was because I wanted to do something artsy or creative or something related to art in the future. Because I knew I loved it, and the idea is that I wanted to do something I loved. I didn't want to do something I'd hate on a regular basis. And it's weird that I'm thinking about it now, but like to know that I knew that at that age, I was like, damn, I must have been some kind of smart. Like, it worked out, right?
True.
And then even with being an artist and doing the things that you love, like you can still go to the path of, like, at one point I was working in offices and like, yes, I'm doing things I love, but I was doing it for people and it wasn't great. So let's say the people I worked with were great, but the work I was doing for the companies themselves was just, it was boring. It was the same thing repeated over and over again. So creativity was down, but I was still technically doing what I love. So there's obviously good and bad.
Yeah.
So from there, so I did the program, I worked in offices, and then I realized once I left school, though, I wanted to be a freelancer. I wanted to work for myself. I do love being by myself, so that was a big plus. And I wanted to be my own boss. I wanted to be able to decide what happens, what I do during the day, etc. But I knew that
when you go to bed.
Yeah, exactly. But I knew that even though I wanted that, I still needed to get my client space up. I still needed to get the experience of working in the offices. As much as they weren't the greatest experience ever, they technically kind of were in the end because I met such great people. I was able to network with those great people, had new experiences, and I also learned a ton. Like, I learned how to work with people. I learned how to do things based off of certain periods of time or scheduling and all that kind of stuff, and working with people who like, now, even though you know it takes about a couple hours, but you needed it yesterday type of thing. So, I mean, even though I work for myself, I do work for people. So working in offices it helped me get to the point of how to deal with people, how to deal with certain situations, how to maneuver things and stuff like that. So to answer that question. I didn't know what the question was anymore.
No, it was good. It was good.
Yeah.
But how's been the feedback for the calling?
Freaking fantastic.
Yeah?
I mean, I'm here. I'm on a podcast, guys.
True.
Yeah, it's been really, 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 really great. So when it first came out, it was great, but not as great as it is now. So it definitely got better. But when it first came out, like I wouldn't say like regular fans, but like people who were around me who knew me and like Mara were just like, oh, this is fantastic, this is great. And I had a couple people buying it and stuff like that. But it wasn't until I got a viral tweet, which was like, boom.
What was the viral tweet?
So it's crazy because I was doing like these nice mock-ups and nice pictures of the coloring book, just like, this is what the coloring book is, you should buy it. Look at it, it's pretty.
You must be
I
kidding
made
yourself.
this. And like got some likes, got some retweets, got some shares, all that kind of stuff. Got a couple purchases, but then I took a picture. So I'm the type of person who likes to document everything. So I have pictures of everything on my phone. So I took a picture the day that I picked them up for the printer the first time, and then I put that on Twitter, just like, hey, I made a coloring book, and that was a tweet that went crazy. Just like a regular Joe picture of a whole bunch of books in a box, just like nothing fancy, nothing pretty, and then that was what took off. So it's like being the realistic it could possibly be is what got all the love on Twitter.
Yeah, but how is it going viral? Because I always wonder
like,
for those people.
What does viral mean, right? So I mean, if you get like 10 likes on a post, I'm just like, yes, 10 likes. I get excited about like just double digits. If I can get to double digits, it's a good day. You know what I mean? Like if I even get one, that means someone at least looked at it.
Yes.
But with this tweet, I think it was like 20,000 likes.
Oh
my God.
13,000 retweets. And like that, I mean, I haven't checked recently. And even and that post was in November 2017, and I'm still getting retweets from that tweet. So like that to me was like, yeah, this is viral. Yeah. I mean, the whole world obviously hasn't seen it, but compared to 10, 10 likes,
definitely is
that's freaking viral.
It's getting there.
Yeah,
it's getting
pretty
there
crazy.
because, like, I always wondered, like, when you see those memes where it's somebody actually
that just
living.
randomly tweeted it. Yeah.
No, but somebody actually living. How does that person live the tweet?
True.
The viral, because like eventually there's positive and there's always negative.
Oh yeah,
you know?
definitely got
So
some negative
hopefully
things.
you only read the positive and the negative.
The negatives hurt though. Like I had some people like damning me to hell, and I was like, you don't even know me. Like what
Damning you to hell?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
what do you mean?
because of the coloring book. So with that tweet, Now This, so like the Now This platform, someone from there contacted me, and so they did like a little mini video of like, this is a graphic designer. Her name is Danielle. She made this coloring book for representation, and then their tweet obviously got me more feedback as well. And so people who follow that platform were just like, well, why do you need this? Like, if we made a white queens, you'd do this. And all that stupidity. And then, like, I had, like, some DMs randomly, just, like, people cursing me and, like, damning me to this, and I hope God smites you. And I was just like, but you don't even know, and even if you did know me, that's so mean.
Yeah, really.
That is true.
It's so hurtful.
Haters.
Yeah, so-
as they say, you know, like...
Good and bad, for sure.
Exactly.
But then with that, I was like, okay, like, blocked you. And then I was like, look at all these great tweets. Look at all these great things and feedback. And then a lot of the times when people were commenting on the Now This in a negative way, random people who I have no idea who they are were defending me and defending the idea of the coloring book. And I was like, yes, I'm paying attention to this,
idea.
and I'm not
Exactly.
paying attention to the crap that you guys are saying. Because first of all, you don't know me, so whatever.
Exactly. Plus, there's the saying that the more hater that you meet on your path, that means you're going in the right direction.
Don't want any more haters.
Yeah, you have to learn to focus on the positive stuff.
Yeah,
So.
exactly.
Because
But like, as you were saying, like with the idea of like people, like regular people on the memes. I don't know if you guys saw that meme with the girl who's squinting.
Yeah.
Like, have you seen her? Like, I think I started seeing some of her tweets, and I was like, oh my gosh, like you're real. And like the whole, I don't know if you guys know like why she was squinting, but she has two pictures. So one picture is like she, you know that crouch that everyone's doing where they're like on the floor and like knees bent, kind of doing like a pose like that type of thing.
Asian pose.
That's a Caribbean
Yeah, like
one.
the pose that became so popular where they're just like, yes. Anyways,
Yeah.
so she was doing that pose, and then so there's a picture of her in the same outfit, same day, and everything doing that pose. And then the next picture was of her getting up from that pose, just like, holy cow, that hurt my knees. And then that was a picture that went viral, and people thought she was looking at something, and she's like, no, I was just trying to deal with the fact that I just did that pose. And I was in so much pain. So, like, that just reminded me of like the tweet, but it's pretty funny.
Did you guys see the Montreal version of that meme?
No, I didn't.
That same pictures,
Yeah.
but with parking signs.
Oh god. No, honestly, that's literally life though. Oh, like I look at the parking signs at least 10 times before I move away from the car. 'Cause I'm like, is it okay? Is it okay?
Especially downtown, like you
So bad.
run this area, you're looking at them like, this is confusing.
It is.
And you know they do that just to make money.
Oh, for sure.
Because you get the ticket and you can't even like argue like, so that's why I just park, and if I get the ticket, I get one.
You still pay the meter if you need to.
Nah.
No?
Never really paid meters,
Oh.
you know.
I pay the meter.
Nah, like
There's an
that.
app for it too.
Yeah, but the thing is like,
Works sometimes.
I'm using
True.
it now actually.
because I've been driving for let's say like over 20 years, and very rarely I only pay the meter if my mom's with me.
Okay.
Because-
You know she's gonna like complain about
Oh yeah, she's gonna
pay.
complain
Yeah,
why you
yeah,
gonna pay.
yeah.
And I probably got like maybe in 20 years like 10 parking tickets. Never really
wow.
paid,
Damn.
you know. But I don't.
That's like $500 though, because they're like about $50 a pop, or at least not even. They're like $60 a pop now.
Like
or
72,
60. Oh,
70 something.
they went up.
Yeah, I was kind of young too, so at the time, like I didn't really
True,
care.
yeah.
Now I don't really drive downtown,
Okay,
but like you don't really get those parking tickets, you know. I don't
Don't
recommend
say-
people do it.
I was about to say, don't say that, because now you're gonna get a whole bunch of people like complaining to you. I got a whole bunch of parking tickets. You told me not to.
Reggie told me.
It's luck of the Irish.
I have a question for you because it seems that you went from having an idea and now that idea is in stores.
Mm-hmm.
Can you walk us through the process?
Yeah. So luckily, like I mentioned this before, like offline when I was saying like curiosity is so great. So because I'm such a curious person, and I'm always just like, well, what if? And if I try this, what's gonna happen? And so on and so forth. Got that from mommy too. Shout out to mommy, because she's always like, the worst case is a no, and at least you're prepared for the no if it happens, right?
Okay.
So with that being said, I was like, well, I made this coloring book. I'm getting great feedback. How can I get it to more people, and how can I get it recognized by companies and corporations? So I was like, let's see what Indigo has to offer. So I went on their website, and on their website, they have like a frequently asked questions page. And it's like, if you're a new author, you can send this email. We'll send you information, see if it's possible, and you can have your books in stores to a certain extent. So if you're part of their publishers, like if you're recognized by a publisher and they recognize that publisher as their publishers that they use, then you can have it like nationwide, website-wide. But if you're self-published like me, you're still able to get them in stores, but you have to go to individual stores yourself, and you have to either call or contact the person individually.
Okay, you have to do the work by yourself.
Yeah, exactly. So you can't have it nationwide, you can't have it in stores as long as you're willing to go there, or at least have the book shipped to the location. So, I mean, we're in Montreal, we have a whole bunch of locations, so I contacted the email, and I spoke to someone named Dave, shout out to Dave, because he was the one who helped me. He was like, okay, well, this is information you need to give, and then pretty much, like, let me go ahead and do it. And then from there, so I contacted different stores. And with that, I got really great feedback in the sense of like, yeah, sure, we'll take it. So the first store was at Anne LaSalle, Montreal. And actually, I don't even think I emailed them or anything. I actually physically was going to buy books that same day, and I always carry some with me just in case. And I was like, hey, so I have a coloring book. Do you think you guys can offer it? And he's like, oh, the manager was like, yeah, like maybe like coloring books, I'm not really sure though, because like they got really big, but now they're not as popular, all that kind of stuff. And I was like, well, actually, this is what it looks like. And I popped it out, and he was like, oh. And he was a white guy. Yeah. And he was like, oh, okay, well, maybe we can take like 5. So it started off with him saying like no, and then when he saw that it was different, it wasn't just like a mandala or like let's fill in these pretty colors and like pretty shapes, and he was like, oh, there's actually something to it.
But it's nicely done though. So you looked at it.
Yeah, and it's different, like in the sense of like it's literally black.
Yeah,
it's like dark. So visually, it also.
This
looks
is the
different.
vision that you already had when you went to the store.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And so he was like, yeah, actually, we'll take 5. And so it was just a matter of me like individually contacting the stores. So I contacted Chapters in West Island, and then like once I had those 2 stores, and I was like, I contacted downtown. I was like, well, I'm actually in 2 other stores. Like, do you want to have me too? So I had like leverage, right? So yeah, it's just a matter of me contacting them individually, trying to get to a point of contacting Toronto. Haven't gotten to that point yet, but yeah, we'll see how it goes.
That's nice. Yeah. Like, in looking up, I feel always weird when I say that because I'm not a journalist.
Did you Google me?
Yeah, I did actually.
That's exciting. I was Googled.
Yeah. I don't know. It feels like
I've Googled myself a couple times.
You
should Google yourself and see what happens.
I don't know. Like, I don't know. You never know. Weird pictures might come up.
That's the fun part about it. What does Google think of me?
Exactly. And it always creepy because I don't usually research people, but like I feel a bit creepy looking you up. I'm like, okay. But maybe I read that in an interview, like you had a book signing too, huh? So how did that go? Like sitting down, like you have to sign books.
So far now I've had 2 book signings, which is really cool. The first one was based off of the Chapters in West Island. So what's great about that location, it's huge. I don't know if you guys have been to it, but it's huge in the sense that it has like 2 floors.
Yeah.
It's a pretty big place. They have like a Starbucks in there and stuff like that. So it's pretty big. And with having your book being sold within that store, they allow you to have a book signing, like part of it, like it's free. And they're like, yeah, like we'll do an event. And I was like, yes. Like, duh. Sure. They're like, we'll have the table set up. We'll allow you to have a poster. I was like, can I design the poster? They're like, yes. And I was like, great. And then they like put it on their Facebook page. So they have like a Facebook page specific to that store. So like Chapters West Point Claire Facebook page, not like the Chapters in general Facebook page. But they're like, yeah, we'll put it on our page like to promote it. And I was like, yes, share that. And so yeah, it was a really good experience because at that point it was just Black Queens that was out when I did the book signing at Chapters, and a lot of people came that like I wasn't expecting strangers. Just like, I saw this online, I had to come. There was like this one guy who like he came in to get something else, and he saw me with like, because like my mom and my boyfriend were there too, like they were helping me out. Shout out to them because like they helped me so much. Like if I was looking at one person, they were dealing with other things, so like they helped tons. Like yeah, so he was in the store and he was like, yeah, I came for this, and then I saw this. He's like, okay, so I think I'm gonna get 6, and I was like, okay. So he like because it was a book signing, I was making it individualized and like special and specific. So I was putting like the people's names that he gave me, and he's like, yeah. No, first he was like, yeah, I'll buy like 1 or 2. He's like, hey, wait, let me call my wife, and they called his wife. And so he was like, okay, actually, I'm gonna have to get a couple more. And he's like, I didn't plan to come here, but I'm about to pay like $100 on coloring books. And I was like, thank you so much. This is great. So it was such a great experience, and like a lot of kids came. Well, I wouldn't say a lot of kids came, because I had a second signing, which I will mention, but kids came with like their parents and stuff, and they're like, hey mommy, like you did my hair like this, or this is what I've looked like, and so that was really
that's
good.
nice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was
That's
really
nice.
great.
That's nice. But like, how did the book sales start? Did it start like it went like you sold out right away? Or?
No, definitely not.
Okay.
So the first set of books that I got were 100. I ordered 100. So I work with a printer on a regular basis for like my client work. So business cards, anything that I'm doing that my clients need to be printed, I work with a printer who I actually met through one of the offices that I worked at, which is why it's great to work at different places, even though you hate it at
Shout
the
out to
beginning.
the cubicle.
I know, right? I mean, it worked out.
Yeah.
So they're actually from Montreal, so they're DigiPress in Montreal.
Okay.
And I worked through them, and I was like, okay, so I want to make a coloring book. And they're like, hey, well, what do you want to do? And I was like, hey, so this is what I want to do. This is how many pages. I want to do 100. How much is it going to cost? And they're like, okay, well, this is how much it's going to cost. I was like, that's feasible. I could do that. So
Okay.
I purchased them, and then I was like, I'm going to sell these now. How am I going to sell these? So I have my website, which is my portfolio. But on the portfolio, I also have like a store. So I had them on my website. And
Nice website. I looked it up.
thank you.
I'm a creep. Yeah, you're saying?
So yeah, so I put them on my website, and so anytime that people saw them through Twitter before they got into the chapter stores, it was based off of them buying it through the website.
Nice.
Yeah.
And after you went viral, so
So with that, it was like, and it's just me. Like, yes, my mom, my boyfriend helped me, or my sister helped me, but it's like at the end of the day, it's just me. So like when it became like viral time, that was also, it was, since it was released in November, it was around Christmas. So I got like a big boost of sales for sure, but it was like, holy cow, I have to send these out like within the next week or two because people want these for Christmas. And then it got to a point where I had to put a date on my website, like, if you order it by this date, you're not gonna get it until after Christmas, because I was packaging it myself, like, maybe someone would come and help me, but I was like putting them in the envelopes, stuffing them, printing labels, making the labels on my computer, on top of like client work and all that kind of stuff. So yeah,
so meaning your team is your boyfriend, your mom, and your sister?
if they're available.
If they're
No. So like mainly me. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's a lot of work though. So now, like, because I heard like the first 100 is sold out now.
Yeah.
So now I have a new batch.
Yeah, so I made a new batch.
Are you getting some help now?
No, same thing.
Man, you're going solo again?
But luckily, because I was able to put it into other places like the chapter stores, it took away some of the work for me. So also, like, some people don't like to purchase on, like, it's not I say a random website, but I know it's secure and everything. But some people, like, unless it's like a specific website like Walmart.ca or Chapsters.ca, etc., like a well-known site, some people are more nervous to buy things online.
Yeah.
So because it's now in physical stores, at least in Montreal for now, that helped too with, if you can't get it on my website or you can't meet up to purchase it from me, hey, go to this store, it's there, or hey, go to that store, it's there. So that helped tons because they're in stores.
Man,
But yeah, it's still technically me, and if possible, my sister, my boyfriend, and my mom.
So you need more friends now.
No, I have friends, just they got lives and they're busy. So I can't even hate on it because it's
You gotta go like, okay, I need you
thing.
one weekend. I need you one weekend. One day of the weekend, you know? I need you for 7 hours.
unpaid. I'll give you food though. Like,
when I'm famous and I win the Oscar, you know, I'll shout you out. You know, hey, man, you gotta work for scraps, man.
right.
You know, but
Pay you in put-ins.
But I wanted to ask you also, because I'm looking at the drawings, and like, because you're also a graphic designer, like, do you have like influences? Who would you say is your biggest influence?
Other designers. Like, I'm a big fan of, like, when it comes to old school designers or artists, Keith Haring was definitely a really big love for me in regards to his visuals, because of, like, the clean lines and the simplicity of it as well. And then, like, designers that, like, I went to school with, there's Timothy Goodman, who's a designer from New York, if I'm not mistaken. He's in New York. He's really good at lettering and designing with, like, just letters. And also illustrations and stuff like that. But he's also a graphic designer, teacher, etc. But just, like, my biggest inspiration would probably be music. Not in the sense of how I design, but, like, what I design.
Okay, so what type of music?
More of, like, the R&B and the hip-hop. If I can sing to it, I'm down.
Okay.
Am I going to sing for people? No. But if I can, like, jam to it in that way, I'm down.
Like, what's her name? Slevin Sleater? Maybe I'm saying
Yeah. No, I know her.
Okay, did I say her name right?
I think so.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
I don't know a lot of her music, but I know of her, yeah.
Okay.
Biggest listens that I've been listening to lately, though, I mean, Rihanna always, because she's my favorite.
Is she from Barbados?
She is.
So, okay.
And I'm
You're from Barbados.
from Barbados, so... Oh, well, I mean, I was born here, but my family's from Barbados. Who have you been listening to lately? Well, definitely Cardi B, because she just came out with stuff. But, like...
So that's what's popping, like, on your phone, like, Rihanna,
Right
Cardi B.
now, yeah, I mean, I've been listening actually to the Fugees recently. Like, I re-downloaded their album. Like, I grew up on it, but, like, I didn't have it on my Apple Music. And I was like, why don't I have this on my Apple Music? So I've been, like, listening to that a lot. Aaliyah, I listen to a lot. I listen to a lot of, like, more older stuff. Or,
Okay.
like early 2000s, like, then, like, newer stuff. Like, some new stuff for sure, but, like, majority of the new stuff I don't know about. Because I'm just, like, still listening to Beyonce from, like, 2000, so...
You're not alone. You're not alone. Because, like, I'm 42, and essentially that's me. Like, I listen to some of the new music. It's not that I don't like it. I don't understand it. So, like, I'll listen to the like, oh, okay, I can pretend to dance to that one.
There's a beat in there somewhere.
Yeah, you know, like, I like to party. I'll go out, and I'm like, yeah, that's that. I don't know who sings it, but yeah. So, but mostly, you know, because of my age, you can tell I'm more of a Wu-Tang guy. So I'm like, okay, you know, you get in my car, I'm like, I'm listening to Ghostface. You know, not the most romantic, but
It's true though. Like you like, and it's weird because like when I was younger and I'd hear my mom listen to the same albums over and over again, I was like, what are you doing? Like, there's new stuff. Like Britney Spears just came out with stuff. What are you doing? Like, and it's like, no, like it makes so much sense. Like I love the old stuff. I love what I grew up on even more now. I can appreciate it more too, right?
It's funny because like it will catch me sometimes. I'll be like, because YouTube or the internet is like a bizarre rabbit hole. You know, like I'll be like on YouTube and next thing you know, I'm listening to James Brown. And I'm waiting. I saw a clip of him and Sammy Davis Jr. not too long ago. He had a show and I'm like, man, that guy had talent. Like the energy of him like on stage and like, you know, like dancing, and I'm like, okay, this guy is like one of the originals. Like when you're talking about dancer, like this guy could move and he had like energy, even though like you don't understand some of what he's saying, you know, like you're like good girl, you know, I want to kiss myself, you know. But he was like, and I find myself listening to what's her name again, man? Her name escapes me. It's not Aretha Franklin. It's Beyonce redid. No, redid one of her song with Adrian Brody. It was an old song.
Diana Ross?
I was thinking of Diana Ross at one point too.
No, her.
Aretha Franklin.
No, not Aretha Franklin. She did that song. Beyonce is like in a studio, and you know who Adrian Brody is. That is an actor. It will come back to me anyways. But I find myself listening to those like old songs, and I'm like, man,
Originals,
when people could sing.
And auto-tune wasn't invented yet.
Yeah, people could sing, and you like, and it's. I find it. I do sometimes a lot of like introspection when I think about stuff. You know, I'll be home like maybe tomorrow night and think about the interview. I'm like, did I forget to ask something, or maybe I should have done something different. But I can always do it to old school music playing in the background. Because this is the way that I can think. You know, like not Wu-Tang, but like, you know, that old school like R&B.
Like a nice soft melody.
Exactly. Like the soft melody.
Wu-Tang isn't gonna help you.
Nah, that's when like, you know, I'm getting ready, you know, to go to the gym.
Exactly.
Like, no. But when you're creating, like you're saying, like you listen to that music?
Yeah, well, for the most part, recently actually, what I've been listening to is a lot of Bob Marley. Because it's a lot of, like, I mean, he does have his... I'm not a smoker, actually. I've never smoked a day in my life, but just his songs are so relaxing.
Secondhand smoke.
Unfortunately, that's the thing. But his songs are so relaxing and so smoothing. And
yes, it is.
I find, like, if I'm listening to a song or music that's, like, really upbeat and, like, jumpy, then I tend to get, like, really nervous and, like, anxious. So I'm just like, no, that's not a good thing. So, like, the soft melodies, the soft songs are good. Or just no music at all sometimes. Like, depending on what mode I'm in. If I'm, okay, deadline is in a couple hours mode, like, focus, like no music, nothing. Because then sometimes it's like music comes on if you have things just on shuffle, or you have like a random playlist and you have things on shuffle, then it's like, oh crap, this isn't a good song for my vibe. Then you feel like you're going back and you're changing the music. It's like, hey, but I should be working on this. So sometimes no music at all.
Because like you're saying, like you have like a list of clients, you have a clientele. So I don't know if I can call it the balancing act, but how do you maintain like having the clientele working on your book?
You don't? No, I'm kidding. A lot of no fun time in the sense of going places, doing anything, going to chill with friends, or like my chilling with friends now is like, let's go grocery shopping because we both need food.
Oh, wow.
And it's like, okay, like you do your thing, I do my thing, bye, talk to you later type of thing. A lot of it has to do with just like putting a lot of time and effort and work into it.
So
Maybe
7
the time.
days.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to do on Saturdays, I don't do anything, but like that doesn't work always.
Okay. But how many hours you would work in a day?
I'd say probably 12.
Jesus.
Oh, wow.
Not straight. I mean, there's on and off. Like, I'm eating, I'm doing this, I'm whatever. But, like, I would say, 10 to 12.
I can only drink for 12 hours. I can't. No, I'm kidding. Work for 12
long
hours.
days.
But you're doing what you love, so
That's
it's
the
different.
thing, right? Yeah,
You're passionate
exactly.
about it.
Yeah,
So you get
I love
lost in what you're doing.
Yeah.
Man.
And then sometimes it's sidetracked. It's like, oh, wait, I just had an idea for a social media picture. Now I'm going to open up a program, do it, and then, like, go back to work type of thing. So,
Man, 12 hours.
that's a good day.
That's a good day.
Yeah.
Ah.
I've had, like, 18, 20-hour stretches depending on, like, deadlines and stuff. It's, yeah. But that's, at the same time, with freelance, nothing is consistent.
Okay.
So I've had like it's only technically been officially 1 year of full freelance, but I've been freelancing ever since I left school. So even when I left school and I was working in the offices, and I also had a part-time job at a movie theater. Shout out to that, because that was like my main job for 7 years. Anyways, so on top of like those two, I was also doing freelance for like one or two of my friends. If they were trying to start something, I do a logo. So I was doing freelance ever since I left. But it was only since February of 2017 that I officially quit the offices and worked full-time freelance.
Okay.
And so last summer, I had moments of weeks of like maybe 3 or 4 hour days. But it also makes sense because in the summer, people are on vacation. People are also in the chill mode. Like whether you work in an office or not, like
Yeah,
summer is the chill time. Like offices sometimes have Fridays where you leave earlier, or like depending on how things work, type that you have more picnics outside. Like people are just more chill type of thing during the summer. So I had like dead periods in the summer for sure, especially also during the holidays, which is good too because then I get to take a break, like Christmas and stuff like that. But yeah, you have like ups and downs. Nothing's really consistent. So like now that I'm doing all this like 12-hour days, which sometimes gives me anxiety and I'm freaking out, but like I'm grateful for it because I'm gonna have days where I do nothing, and then I'm gonna be like, oh, like now I'm bored, and then I'm gonna be like, no, don't say that because then this is gonna happen. So it's good and bad.
So I mean, today, what did you do before you get here? What was your schedule?
Like 20 meetings.
20 meetings?
No, not really. I mean 20 because I don't leave my house normally. So like the fact that I left my house and like did a whole bunch of things was that felt like 20.
You don't leave your house?
I had a couple of meetings. Generally, no, unless I have to. So groceries. That's a thing. So I don't
Meeting
have them
clients.
delivered. Meeting clients. Meeting with friends sometimes, but that doesn't happen often unless we're doing groceries.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I only can do that on the weekends, but I have to go out. Like I was telling you earlier, like I have to go meet people, and because I hate people, but I love them at the same time.
You love-hate relationship with people.
Yeah, because like I like watching people.
Oh, people watching is so fun.
Yeah, like just like that's why like just taking the metro, like you could see just like from the older lady to the kid that's alone. That's like, how come you're alone in the metro by yourself? Those type of things, like a funny story. Like I'm in the bus and this kid is probably, I don't know, I'm gonna say maybe 6. He's on the bus by himself. He gets in and there's no room to sit down, so he stands right in front of a gentleman and he's holding the bar, but he's so minuscule, you know. Out of nowhere, the kid just like in the face of the guy, and the guy was reading a book, and the guy's like, "What the hell just happened?" And he's looking at the kid like, for the kid to say like, "I'm sorry." The kid's like, "What?"
Oh, that's gross. Ew, no manners.
The thing is
That's
that
terrible.
you can't punch the kid.
It's like, well, what would I do in that situation?
You're
Like,
like, and the kid's just standing there like nothing really. I'm like, okay, I understand why you're alone. I understand because the kid
you
probably
can handle yourself.
Yeah,
You're
you can
fine.
handle yourself because it's like what? And I'm sitting there and I'm like, it made me laugh. Like those type of things. Like I was telling them the other day. We finished the podcast. I get on the bus and I'm sitting in the back, and in the corner there's a lady sitting, like a fairly attractive young lady, and she gets up and she gets off the bus, but she was sitting in the back in the corner, and I'm like, let me go take the back in the corner, and I sit where she was sitting. But when she got up, she kind of left in a hurry, and I sat in a place, and I think she peed, and I just sat in the pee.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What if it was it raining that day?
No, it was not raining.
Sweat.
Because
I don't think it's better.
Like there was a puddle.
I sat in there,
And you were just like wet.
and I'm wearing jeans, so I sit down and it starts soaking, and I'm like,
Oh, that's so gross.
because I live close to the terminus, so
Okay.
I'm like, I don't want to get up, because if I get up, somebody sits there, they're gonna think it's
It was
me.
you.
Yeah.
So
So you
I
let it soak in. So
I
it
had to
doesn't.
sit there, and I know because like it kind of like starting to get the back of my
Gosh,
leg,
that's
Oh
so
my God.
gross.
and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, I can't think about anything.
That's so.
All I can think is that, man,
Can't wait for that shower. Like.
I kid you not, I took off the jeans, I washed them, and as I'm taking them out the washing machine, and I'm like trying to, and they ripped. The jeans ripped, and I'm like, wow.
You're just not meant to wear those ever again.
You're cursed.
But that's, it's a fun story to tell at the same time.
It's also super gross.
It's super gross because I can remember, because I played the scene in my head 20 times. I got in, I sat in the back in the middle. She was in the corner and she was sleeping. And she woke up and she rang and she got off. And I'm thinking, maybe she realized that she peed herself while she was sleeping. And she just got off the bus, so I don't know.
Older?
No, she's a young lady. She's probably like mid-20s.
Oh wow. Because they say when you get older, things loosen up a little bit down there. So maybe it's because she's older, but
I don't know. But this is what happens when you deal with people you don't go out a lot, so.
No, and when I do, I drive. So I really don't deal with people that
those are
much.
the type of things that happen sometimes when you're just like, So that's why
I feel like I'll be sharing that story from now on. I'm gonna tell people this story.
Yeah, please do, because it's never the same, because I've never really worried about sitting down, so now I have to put my hand first just to
But
test.
if you look, you can see if it's wet or not. No.
No, because it's dark.
Oh.
So unless you touch it, you can't really know.
No, it's even worse if you touch it with your bare hands too, right?
Yeah,
Because
but
it's
I got Purell, so I could
Oh.
just go okay, I'm good, and then sit. But that's the part about, especially in the summer. Summer, you take people don't shower, and and you have the people when you're the bus, they grab the tang and the armpit, and they're just giving you they call
That's why I drive.
but good experience, I learned how to fight germs like that.
Sure, true. You don't get sick as fast. True.
I have a few questions for you. Rapid fire.
Okay. Rapid fire question.
Yes. Some of them already know the answer because, while we're talking, I guess, but I'm still going to ask you because I work on it. Dog or cat?
Cat. I have 2 cats. So always cat.
And I can see it now. iPhone or Samsung?
iPhone. But shout out to Samsungs and Androids because they have pretty good cameras and everything. I just visually they're so ugly and confusing that iPhones win for that. So.
Okay. Well, we're not going to be friends.
Rapid fire. And it also syncs with my computer and everything, so it's easy. Anyways.
Facebook or Twitter?
Twitter all the way. I hate Facebook.
Netflix or YouTube?
It's on what? You want to watch hair videos? Let's watch YouTube. Right? You want to watch a series? Let's watch Netflix.
But which would you rather?
Netflix.
Work hard or play hard?
A little bit of both.
I can get that. Art, classic or modern?
Modern.
Big party or small gathering?
Small.
Small gathering?
Yeah.
Yeah,
More
yeah.
intimate. You get to know people a little bit better.
Yeah, but I can get a lot of people at the same time. Nah, I'm kidding.
It also depends on if alcohol is involved. If it's a networking thing. Anyways, go on.
And the last one I got for you. In a car, would you rather be passenger or driver?
Long distance or short distance?
Let's go long distance.
Passenger.
Yeah.
Passenger.
Okay.
I mean, I've driven to Toronto by myself, but I hated it.
But that's a short drive.
No, short drive is from here to home. Driving 6 hours alone is not a short drive.
I agree.
Right? Okay.
I agree.
I went to Indianapolis by car.
Okay, well, you're special.
So that's why I'm
That's
like,
an extra long drive.
that's why I'm like, Toronto, that's a short drive. You know, you can't fall asleep there. You just drive and you get there and say hi to everybody and you come back
You're
to Montreal.
special. So.
Well, I'm older now. I can't do that anymore. So now, like, I'm a passenger now. That was a fun hour.
Yeah. But before we end that conversation, okay, I know people gonna say, oh, absolument, tu parles plus souvent. On n'a pas entendu, non, c'est pas une barrière de langage qui fait ça. I just want to mention something because listen to you, I think you are an inspiration.
Oh, thank you.
Because I know, like, most of the time I end the podcast by saying to people, be creative and create something, do something that you're passionate about it.
And she is the definition of that.
Yeah,
Yeah, you are the definition of that. The way that she ends the podcast, well, our podcast, not yours. I'm kidding. So no, the way that she ends the podcast, usually the words that she chooses defines you.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm happy to hear that somebody like decide to, you have an idea and with the idea you build something about it, and it's really great to like not just only see that you create, but we can touch it, we can feel it, we can see it. So les gens qui m'écoutaient, ok. Vous avez une idée? Puis comme je réponds un peu à ce qu'elle a dit plus tôt lorsqu'elle parlait des personnes sur Twitter qui la critiquent et tout. On aura toujours des personnes qui nous critiquent, mais lorsqu'on est passionné à propos de qu'est-ce qu'on fait, puis on le fait avec notre cœur, il y aura toujours du monde qui va nous supporter ou qui vont même nous défendre comme ceux qui l'ont défendu sur Twitter alors qu'elle les connaissait même pas. Ok? Donc vous qui m'écoutez, je me répète, si vous avez une idée, prenez-la à cœur. Puis même si c'est pas à temps plein. Parce qu'on s'entend qu'elle est designer graphique, elle a des clients et tout, mais elle a quand même décidé de partir quelque chose qui lui trottait dans la tête tranquillement pas vite.
C'est ça, son compte.
Puis, exactement. Puis on s'entend qu'aujourd'hui, c'est vendu chez Chapters, même si c'est dans...
Indigo.
Exactement. Donc,
C'est
Everybody's buying everybody.
en faisant des baby steps, ça l'a rendu plus loin au travers de tout ça. Donc, ne soyez pas, comme je vais dire ça...
Et de la persévérance.
Oui, et de la persévérance dans qu'est-ce que vous faites. Parce qu'on sait jamais où ce que ça va nous emmener plus tard. Puis, and I'm really happy to meet you today.
You.
It was really fun. We have a good conversation. Reggie really had a good conversation.
She's gonna become a big star soon. So we had her at the ground floor. So
I'll always be on the ground floor.
20 years, you know, when with a blackmail her, I'm like, we have the interview.
Yeah,
exactly.
2018.
Archives,
you know.
In our beginnings.
You know, we're going to TMZ.
No, sometimes TMZ's bad. I don't want to be on TMZ.
Don't be, what's his name, Tristan Thompson.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Donc, sur ce, je vais vous dire, restez créatifs. Et pour ceux qui nous ont écouté en anglais qui ne parlent pas français, stay creative. Because you never know what it's going to bring you.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
And even if you don't think you can do it yourself, so yes, obviously I'm a graphic designer and I have the tools, you can always find someone that's willing to help you.
exactly.
You can always ask, it's 2018, the internet, Google, so many things are available to you. It's just a matter of doing it. Even if that means putting your ideas on paper and it's not just stuck in your head, because it's always like, we have ideas, but we keep them in our head and it doesn't go anywhere. As soon as you put it on paper, it starts to become real.
Exactly.
And then you can continue it and do it and do it. Even if you text a person, text your friend, text your boyfriend, text your partner, whoever, hey, I want to do this, that automatically makes it become more real.
That's true.
You're right, because people gonna ask you about it.
Yeah,
say,
exactly.
Oh, you text me about something.
Yeah,
Did you
and
start
it's like,
it?
crap, that's true. I gotta get to it now.
But the Black Queens and Black Kings now coming out soon. Tell us where to find everything again.
Yeah, so on my website, so dmcmtl.com. So DMC are my initials, Danielle Murell Cox. MTL is where we are and where I'm from. So dmcmtl.com. Or we have, so far, hopefully we'll have more soon, we have chapters in Pointe Claire, West Island, Montreal. We have Angriel, which is the Kohl's store in LaSalle. And then we have Indigo and Montreal Trust downtown.
Okay, online it's still Indigo and...
So online, they're not available on their websites because I'm not part of like a big publisher.
Okay.
So far, it's just on store level, but I'm trying possibly to see if I can get it on the website. So it might happen, but
Do we have to call Al Sharpton or...
I know, right? We'll see. I'm trying though. Because it's always about like... You can see them online, you just can't purchase them online.
Oh, okay.
So that's the thing. Like once you go onto the page and you see it on their website, it's gonna say available in stores only. But I'm trying to get it so that way it's also available online. But like, we're in the works of that, so we'll see.
People,
See how that
please buy that book.
Yeah. So it also shows that like, even if you just ask about it, it shows that there's an interest about it and people care about these things, and that opens people's eyes to things. Like no one says you don't have to purchase it. I mean, I'm grateful if you do, but just inquiring about it,
I'm telling
calling
people
about
they
it,
should
asking
purchase
about
it because it's nice for kids and for adults too. Plus, we got to support the sister. Get her out there. I'm sorry, you were saying something? Okay, because she was staring at me like. And I hope that was fun for you because we would like to have you on again sometime.
Yeah, your podcasts are fun, man. Shout out to you guys for like doing all this and putting in the work and like taking time out of your day and like editing it and all that stuff. Like
that's what we do for fun.
Yeah.
Because I hate my work. So that's what I do to decompress. Come here and meet people, interesting people.
Yeah. Well, you do like people, so it works.
Yeah. I can have a conversation with somebody.
Yeah.
As they say, like, you throw me in hell, I'll try to talk my way out.
Well, thanks again, guys. I appreciate it.
It was a pleasure.
Donc, ceci étant dit, avec tout ce que vous avez entendu, justement, elle a mentionné où ce que vous pouvez retrouver son livre, et comme Reggie l'a dit, vraiment, c'est pas juste de supporter quelqu'un de la communauté noire ou quoi que ce soit, mais c'est vraiment une idée géniale, qu'est-ce qu'elle a fait présentement. Puis lorsque vous allez découvrir le livre, le feuilleter, tout, et de voir justement que vous pouvez vous sentir représenté au travers des dessins et même justement penser à quelqu'un qui dit ça ressemble à quelqu'un que j'ai vu quelque part, tu sais, comme c'est plus, ça devient même quasiment personnel à nous-mêmes et tout. Donc je vous invite, comme elle dit, si vous l'achetez pas, mais d'y penser, mais moi je vous invite à aller le regarder parce que vous allez finir par l'acheter, quand même, comme elle dit, de prendre conscience par rapport à tout ça. Puis nous, vous pouvez toujours nous suivre, l'Ambiance Podcast, sur Facebook, sur Twitter certainement et sur Instagram maintenant. Donc, et bien sûr, il y a le site internet L'Ambiance Podcast. On vous dit à la prochaine. C'est un plaisir comme à chaque fois. Et c'est ça pour moi.
Merci encore. Oui. Danielle Murell Cox.
Moi, j'ai dit en français.
Graphique designer et maintenant auteur.
Danielle Murell Cox.
Et maintenant.
TMC.
Et prochaine, on vous adore.
À la prochaine.